What's up, legends? My name is Jinxy, and today we're diving into a game that I have been terrified to talk about because, mate, this one's a doozy. So I finally sat down to play Baldur's Gate 3, the game everyone and their grandmother insists is the pinnacle of modern RPGs. A masterpiece, game of the decade, peak storytelling, the chosen one. And listen, I love Skyrim, I love D&D, I love fantasy RPG so much my original Skyrim disc literally died in my hands from overuse. So in theory, BG3 or Baldur's Gate 3 should have been my cozy chosen adventure, my RPG soulmate, my new obsession. But instead, it left me confused, overwhelmed, and very nearly screaming into a pillow. So let's talk about it. Honestly, barely, and with as much cozy, chaotic energy as possible. So let's start with the first hurdle I hit, performance. Mate, this game runs like an injured walrus on my laptop. And before anyone comes for me, my laptop is barely a year old. It runs literally everything else I own beautifully. Warcraft 3, perfect. Skyrim, chef's kiss. Sims 4 with 200 mods and a midlife crisis expansion pack, smooth as butter. BG3, well, BG3 booted up, took one dramatic look at my hardware and said, nope, I refuse, goodbye. We're talking stutters, lag spikes, frame drops, desync, cutscenes turning into 2 FPS interpretive dance pieces. And yes, before you ask, I turned everything down. Everything. Low settings across the board, shadows gone, textures sacrificed, resolution lowered, FSR on, borderless window, ambient occlusion off, 3 goats offered to the GPU gods, nothing helped. And this matters because BG3 is a cinematic RPG. It's supposed to grab your soul by the shirt collar in the opening scenes. Instead, I spent half the intro trying to figure out if the tentacle monster was attacking me or if my frames were just dropping. At one point, my character blinked in slow motion. Not because of animation, because my laptop was having a meltdown. If this is a first impression a new player gets, yeah, a lot of people won't push past this point. But then, praise be, I reached character creation, and mate, this was the one place my laptop behaved, and it was glorious. Creating my fighter was so smooth and intuitive it almost felt like a different game. The customization options were clean, the UI actually made sense, and the recommended stat choice for each class is a brilliant idea, and it was genuinely helpful. For a moment, I thought, oh, maybe things are turning around. Maybe it's gonna click. I felt connected to my character. I felt excited to jump into the world, and I was ready. And then came the leveling. So a little time goes by. I'm totally hyped because my character finally levels up. And then the game assigns my points for me. Just takes control. I thought I missed something. I clicked around, I searched menus. Nope. The game just says, congratulations, we picked your build. Enjoy whatever we choose. I usually build tanks. I start with a high health and high dex, then slowly sprinkle in like utility skills, such as lockpicking or healing. But BG3 said, nope, you're getting whatever we put on the menu. And yes, before the Pitchfork Brigade begins, I know there is a way to manually assign points if you dig for it. But here's the thing. If I can't find it after several minutes of looking, that's a UI problem, not a player problem. This is D&D. Half the joy is shaping your character, not being strong-armed by a leveling system like a confused toddler. It absolutely took the wind out of my sails. Okay, next up, the camera. The freaking camera. Whoever designed this camera was absolutely trolling. It moves like a caffeinated squirrel strapped to a GoPro, trying to rotate it, center it, tilt it, see enemies, navigate a cliff. All felt like wrestling for dominance against the invisible ferret. The amount of times I spun the camera the wrong direction, 3 times in a row, embarrassing. The amount of times I got motion sick, even worse. A game can be complex without actively fighting the player, and this camera fought me every step of the way. And then we reach party management. So I booted up the game expecting to play one character, one hero, one adventurer. You know, Skyrim brain. Standard RPG brain. Just a little FYI, I don't play Final Fantasy for this exact reason coming up. BG3 said, anyway, here's 4 strangers. They're your responsibility now, and they have skills, they have feelings, they will absolutely die if you don't babysit them. I was not mentally prepared to manage inventory, skill cooldowns, dialogue choices, positional advantages, emotional damage, and tactical combat for multiple people. There's a reason I always play a tank. Half my footage is just me shouting internally, please stop standing in the fire! Why are you there? How are you dead again? And this is the part people love. Tactical party combat. But that's not the playstyle I was looking for. I wanted my character's story, not a medieval daycare where everyone keeps wandering off cliffs. I was exhausted before I even left the beach. Now let's talk about the moment my hope truly died. After the long intro, you stand on a beach and you're told one thing. You need to find a healer. Cool, great. Where though? There's no marker, no breadcrumb trail, no hey, maybe start in this direction. Just a gigantic zone full of traps, locked doors, high-level enemies, puzzles, and random encounters you're 100% not ready for. I wandered for so long without progress that I genuinely wondered if I'd broken the game. At one point, I walked into a cave and died so fast the screen barely had time to fade. I sat there and was like, am I dumb? Or is this game allergic to explanation? There's a fine line between open world freedom and we refuse to guide you. And BG3 walks that thin line drunk. Here's where I think a lot of my disappointment came from. I expected the game to feel like D&D. Collaborative, silly, chaotic, but with a DM who gives you gentle hints when you're lost. BG3 feels more like you're in my campaign now, figure it out or die. No backseas. The world is deep and gorgeous, but it's also heavy, complicated, and oddly lonely. It wasn't the cozy adventure with friends I thought I'd get. It was like being dropped into a graduate level tactics RPG with no syllabus. Finally, this matters so much for people new to the game. BG3 is not friendly to beginners. The menus are dense, the skill checks are everywhere, combat is unforgiving, and nothing is explained clearly. I found myself Googling almost every 10 minutes, and if a game demands Google during the tutorial zone, yeah, that's not ideal. AAA RPGs should welcome players in. This one feels like a bouncer going, sorry mate, you can only enter if you understand turn-based tactics. So here's where I land. I do not think Baldur's Gate 3 is a bad game. I think it's a masterpiece for the people who love tactical RPGs. It's deep, it's emotional, it's complex, it's massive. But for me, with lag, camera issues, confusing systems, overwhelming party management, unclear direction, and a leveling system that ripped control away, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I truly genuinely wanted to love this game, but instead I'm considering the refund button. And that's okay. Games don't have to be for everyone. This one just didn't click for my playstyle. Anyways, let me know what your experience with BG3 was. Did you love it? Did you bounce off of it like I did? Did you power through the beginning chaos and find your groove? Smash that like button before your luck runs out. And as always, stay lucky, stay laughing, and stay gaming. Thanks for watching. Bye!